Alright, hello everyone. I'm Helix, here to commentate the English restream of this Pokemon Emerald run. Should be a good time. It is just me, so y'all will be alone with me for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Probably more like 2 hours and 30 minutes, we'll see. So this will be interesting, because I have not run this game. I have looked into running this game, so I'm not completely clueless. The other problem is that, obviously, this runner is playing in Japanese. I can't read or speak Japanese, hence why I'm here and not there. So this this will be interesting. But thankfully, I do have like a guide up for the route, so reference to just to help with stuff I have forgotten since I've last looked into running this game. It is faster to pick the girl, so that's what we're doing, giving it a one-character name. Just the usual Pokemon stuff. It's gonna be a bit, gotta go select our starter and all that. There are some important settings that the runner has changed before starting. Text speed to fast, battle scene to off, so that means animations won't play for different moves. That eats up a lot of time during the run. And battle style to set. Set battle style means you aren't asked if you would like to switch your Pokemon every time your opponent is about to send out a Pokemon. And we're going to be basically sweeping the game with Mudkip, Marshtomp, Swampert here. Spoilers. So there's no reason for us to have shift battle style set. Is just fine. We don't need to be asked every time. Gotta set the clock. We don't really care what time it is. We're not going to be here long anyway. This run is being done by Ringo, who is the world record holder, actually. According to speedrun.com, actually has the fastest time across any version of Pokemon Emerald. Most people run on the English version, makes sense. But there are a handful of Japanese runners who do run on the Japanese version. Ringo is one of them. And I believe the Japanese version is faster just because there are fewer text characters. The fast text speed prints one text character per frame. So obviously, the fewer you have, the fewer frames. And that's why we have given May here a one-character name. That's why we will probably give it to the rival and catch. Probably we'll be giving it to the starter and all that. So what's happening here is the start of Mudkip Manip. Ringo is going to save and reset, and now they're basically going to press A to advance menus at specific times. Essentially what they're trying to do is manipulate RNG and press A on very specific frames to get a very specific Mudkip. The Mudkip stats are essentially determined by RNG, and you can manipulate that RNG depending on what time you select it at. That was not the best explanation, but it will do. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. Hard to tell if this Mudkip is actually the one we want, but everything seems fine. I mean, we're not resetting, so this is probably the correct Mudkip. It's so difficult with the Japanese characters. It's so hard to tell what's happening. But that is, I think that's frame perfect. Getting the correct Mudkip there. It might be, there might be a window of like 2 frames where there's a Mudkip that we want, but essentially, Pokemon has what are called IVs, or individual values, and these are unique to each Pokemon, and they can range from 0 to 31, and they will affect how good the stat is, basically. So each stat has an IV. So the ideal Mudkip that people get, at least for the English version, has 21 HP IVs. So 21 out of a possible 31 is pretty good. 23 attack IVs, 28 defense IVs, 30 special attack IVs out of 31, really close to the max, 29 in special defense, and 29 in speed. So pretty good stats overall. Attack, special attack, and speed are the ones we care about the most because we need to be faster than a lot of Pokemon, and we need to hit hard so we can knock them out. First rival battle doesn't do much. I mean, you just kind of spam tackle from what I can gather. I'm not going to be able to read move names, which will be really funny. But I've played this game enough, hopefully I can infer what's going on. We won't have the animations to help us out either, so it is what it is.
攻撃力が上がって特防が下がる個体です。ポケモンの RT だと一番多いんじゃないかな、やんちゃを使うのが、やんちゃが一番強いっていうのが。
But yeah, there's, not too much happening here. It's the beginning of a Pokemon game. I mean, y'all know the drill. We got our starter, we gotta do some walking, we gotta run some errands.
ゲームを起動してから何フレームだ、1026フレーム、60分の1秒かける1026ですね。1026フレームのタイミングだけで、引ける水五郎を、積もりました。で、その後に、それとついでに一緒にあれジグザグマの出てきたと思うんですけど、ジグザグマの個体の調整もしています。ジグザグマの防御が下がるようにしないと、さっきみたいに体当たり。
I gotta talk to Mom. I believe this is where the running shoes are required, which is super important. As you can imagine, running is faster. Go figure. Yep, there we go. Immediately sprinting all around the route. Immediate encounter. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh, and it's just a Wurmple too. Alright, looks like Ringo's is going to knock out this Wurmple, probably for a little bit of experience. I mean, it's only a level 2, so we'll go down in one shot. There is an early experience route that can be, I believe it's slightly slower overall, but it is more consistent. Gonna knock out this Poochyena as well. Alright. Ooh, this looks like it might take 3 turns. Nope, alright. Either that was a crit or got a range, something like that. A lot of what you're going to see are what's called ranges on certain Pokemon. So when you hit with an attack, it will do a range of damage. So let's say it can do, like 10 to 8 HP of damage, or 8 to 10. Often the stats line up in such a way that an attack is a range to knock out a Pokemon, so you need to hit the high end of the range to, make the Pokemon faint. And so that's basically what we're trying to do with getting these good Mudkips from this Manip, is trying to make these ranges as lenient as possible. And, when we can, obviously trying to make it so that there are no ranges, so that it's guaranteed to knock the Pokemon out. But yeah, there ends up being a lot of math and probability that goes into runs of this game. Gotta run through the grass there to avoid a trainer. Unfortunate that we got yet another encounter. It's kind of a lot of encounters. At least that's what it feels like. No encounter in that patch, that's nice. Another, just immediate encounter upon stepping into the grass. Yeah, these Pokemon are eager today. Yeah, I had to run around that last, so going into the mart, talking to the clerk from this side is a little bit faster. Gonna buy 6 potions and 4 repels. Was that a dire hit that was bought too? That's not in these notes. Interesting. We'll see how that plays out. There are certain items like dire hit and like the X items, X attack, X speed, etc. And now we have to go talk to Norman, and then Wally will come up and do the catch tutorial, so I definitely have time to talk about this. A lot of people in their casual playthrough probably don't use these X items. I never did. But they're actually super useful in a speedrun, because what they do is when you use an X item or a dire hit, it will raise a stat by 1 stage. So it'll raise your attack by 1 stage, for example. I think dire hit raises your accuracy. And that kind of thing can actually be really, really nice, and in a lot of cases it can be the difference between being able to knock out a Pokemon in 2 turns, 1 turn, or having basically no shot at it at all. And there are a lot of fights where we need to knock out a Pokemon in one turn, otherwise it will just destroy our poor starter. Oh, was Dire Hit the one that raises crit? That might be it. See, proof that I've never used these items. No, there is an item called X Accuracy, I believe. So yeah, it's gotta be Dire Hit raises critical chance. You're right. Question in chat says, what Pokemon will we see used mainly in this run? And we're going to be looking at Mudkip for pretty much the duration of the run here, and of course its various evolved forms, so Marshtomp and Swampert. This is a really, really good Pokemon, especially for the early game, because it is going to absolutely wipe the floor with Roxanne's Rock-type Pokemon. It makes Watson just a complete joke because Ground-type. It makes Flannery a joke because Flannery is Fire-type. It's great for Watson because normally, like, the Electric-type trainer is the Electric-type gym leader is a big wall if you have chosen the Water-type starter, but because Marshtomp and Swampert have that amazing Water Ground typing, it's a big help. The main thing we need to worry about is Grass-type moves, especially once we evolve and get this Water Ground typing, because then Grass-type moves will be 4 times effective. And that's a problem. So we are now into the forest. No encounters there, that's nice. Gonna save quickly, perhaps doing another manip of some sort. This game takes a while to save, especially if you're used to the newer Pokemon games, they don't take this long to save. No, okay, it doesn't seem like we're doing a manip or anything. I don't know why we would be, this is a battle. Probably just a hard battle that's worth saving before, just for safety. This is a marathon after all. This is the very first Aqua Grunt. I suppose we are, you know, Smudkip is a little bit underleveled still. So this is where we're using the Dire Hit, it seems. I assume it's a Dire Hit. Like I said, I can't read Japanese. Believe we're just pressing tackle. Maybe hoping for a crit. 3 shots to Poochyena, not too bad. Gonna level up all the way to level 9, that's helpful.
今のところほぼ完璧じゃないですかね。そうですね。はい、で、また敵置きがあります。敵、この後虫取り少年がいるんですが、虫取り少年の右下一歩手前まで走ってちょっと歩いて敵置きをします。よく見といてください。And
something that will come into play pretty soon here is Mudkip's ability Torrent. That ability dictates... Oh, nice dodge on that rotating trainer, by the way. I should talk about that quick. There are a lot of trainers in this game that will spin around, basically, and of course, it's a Pokemon game, so if they see you, they will initiate a battle. We don't want that. Optional battles are slow. They're so slow. We do not want to hit any optional trainers if we can help it. And when we do need to battle a trainer, we want to walk up to them and talk to them. Because otherwise, if we are in their line of sight without talking to them, there'll be like a little exclamation mark above their head, and then they'll walk over to us, and they're really slow, and we don't want that, because that wastes time. So it's faster to just run up to them and talk to them. Anyway, yeah, dodging rotating trainers is really important. But I was chatting about Torrent. Torrent is the ability that Mudkip has, and it dictates that when you have 1/3 of your HP or less, Water-type moves will become more powerful. This can actually be very, very important.
メタルギアソリッド世界記録すごかったと思いますが、残念ながらエメラルド絶対に世界記録出ません。出たら引きます正直。
But there's going to be a lot of Water Gun used throughout this gym to take down these rock types, because Water Gun is super effective, of course. And Tackle, being a normal type move, is not very effective against rock types. So, very important that we are using Water Gun here.
HP が14は大丈夫かな大丈夫か。で、先ほど泥かけで倒した後水鉄砲を覚えたので、ここから先は水鉄砲で全員なぎ倒していきます。水鉄砲は岩地面の質ぶてに4倍なので、ここから。
I'm seeing a question in chat. Is 2:45 the all-time best run? It is not. The all-time best run is a 2 our 23-minute, 16-second run by this very runner, Ringo777. So you are all in for a treat. The world record holder is showing off the game for us today. And yes, 2:45 is the estimate. So we should be finished with this run in under 2 hours and 45 minutes. It might seem like a pretty generous estimate, and it kind of is. There's a lot that can go wrong when speedrunning Pokemon games. You can just be unlucky is what it boils down to.
全部の運ゲーを勝ち残って記録出すしかないです、ポケモンの RTA は。なので、まあなるべく運ゲーを削りたいですね、ポケモンの RTA って。Finally,
we're walking up to Roxanne, the first gym leader. For those of you who don't know, the general gist of Pokemon games is that you need to collect the 8 gym badges and then go fight the Elite Four and the champion, and this run is over when we defeat the champion. Specifically when we see the Hall of Fame, I believe. So Roxanne will have 2 level 12 Geodudes and a level 15 Nosepass. We're pretty much going to sweep the Geodudes with Water Gun. The Nosepass is a little dangerous because we won't be able to knock it out with Water Gun. And it knows Rock Tomb. And Rock Tomb can be kind of a dangerous move. So need to keep an eye on Mudkip's health here to make sure we are not in range of Rock Tomb knocking us out. Rock Tomb should do 13 to 16 damage, so was that tackle? I think that was tackle. It didn't do as much as a Rock Tomb would have. So, looks like Water Gun's doing a little over a third. Should be alright. Roxanne, that was either a potion or a berry that the Nosepass was holding. It was more likely an Oran berry. I think a potion would have healed more. There's the potion. So just gotta keep spamming Water Gun. It'll knock it out eventually. It'd be great to get a crit here or something. Hasn't really used Rock Tomb. Okay, this is dangerous now because Rock Tomb could probably kill, but this Mudkip should be faster. Oh, we're not, but it seemed to be just tackle again, unless this Mudkip has exceptionally high defense. Even then, I'm not sure. It seemed like a lot of tackle from that Nosepass. But hey, everything worked out. You've defeated the Nosepass, got the first badge. Roxanne will give us the TM for Rock Tomb. I believe we're going to sell this later. We don't need this TM, so... TM stands for Technical Machine. It is an item that allows you to teach the move that it contains to a Pokemon. But we won't be teaching Rock Tomb to anything, so we're probably just going to sell it for cash. This doesn't matter that much on the run, but TMs in Generation 3 can only be used once. So once you use it to teach the move to a Pokemon, you cannot use that TM again. It is broken and gone, basically. Mudkip has a move that lowers the opponent's attack. He used it. Ah, yes, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't consider Growl. That's smart, honestly. Excellent dodging of these trainers. Running into a Tailo. This will probably be caught because we need, yeah, using a Great Ball. We need something that can use Fly later in the game. Tailo will pretty much only see use with regard to Fly, but we need something that can fly. Mudkip, unfortunately, can't fly. And immediately going into an Abra. So I believe this was a manip to set all of this up. And we need an Abra because we are going to use Teleport, actually, a few times throughout this run, which is really cool. Yellow Ball failed. Part of the manip is what's known as a Yellow Ball, where you just immediately toss a ball, generally. And if you've done the manip right, it oftentimes it should work, but not that time, and that's unfortunate because, being an Abra, that Pokemon was going to teleport away immediately. So we got to catch the Tailo again. Got to do the whole sequence again. So we're going to Yellow Ball the Tailo with the Great Ball. Tailo is not the only option for a flyer, but it is the quickest. Especially as part of this minute. Because you can find it right here on this route. We need to go to this route anyway. We need to catch an Abra anyway. So it doesn't take too much time to also just catch a Tailo here. So here's an Abra again. Hopefully it stays on the ball this time. Perfect.
あれは俺がミスりまくってるから何も言えねえわ。ここまでが調整です。これ秘伝要因ですね、基本的に。今のポケモンはないんだよな。そうだよな。マナもそうですね、直前まで走って、左上の短パン小僧を避けるようにしています。あとバック避けもか今か。今、虫除けスプレーを使ったと思うんですが、虫除けスプレーを使うだけじゃなくて、今のは敵除けも兼ねています。
So, I'm gonna fight this hiker at some point soon here, if not already. Mudkip is gonna try to learn Bide. We don't want that. There's no reason to learn Bide. What Bide does is, you basically just tank attacks for 2 turns, and then you deal double the damage that you've taken back to your opponent. That's slow, so we don't want it.
今ヒデ要員がいないんですが、このゲームはまだ当時いたので、
This is Mr. Briny. Team Aqua has stolen his Pokemon or something. Stolen his Wingull, I believe. Pico is the Wingull's name. So we're gonna go get that Wingull back. And also the Devon goods that this Grunt has stolen as well. And as with any Pokemon game, these Grunts are so frustrated, like, why am I being beaten by a little kid? What the heck?
で、まあこのキャモメピーコちゃんを助けたので、おじいちゃんが来て、おじいちゃんがありがとうよとハギって言うんですけど、このおじいちゃんが、まあ何でもしてくれるよみたいなことを言ってくれます。で帰ります。で帰りにもう一人買っていきます。受けたトレーナーなんですが、こいつは経験値の調整で借ります。なんでかっていうと、こいつを倒すことで水五郎が16レベルになって進化します。はい、というわけで、これで16になったので、進化いたします。
Alright, and here's the first evolution. Mudkip into Marshtomp. We are gaining the ground type, so we are now water ground.
2019年の RTA In Japan で出てきたと思います。まだ感情がある頃のマクロですね。
And of course, with this evolution, your stats are going to get a little bit better, so that's helpful as well.
超大事です。超大事なんですが、この技も体当たり同様命中率が 95% なので、まあ外れる時があります。外したら負ける戦闘が多々ありますのでご注意ください。これも適用形です。このポーズを開くことによって、
So upon evolving, we also taught Mudshot over Growl. Mudshot is a ground type attacking move. That will be very useful in a few situations.
でも基本的にずっと神経使いっぱなしですね、このゲームは。
So this Devon Corporation employee is extremely impressed with us, extremely thankful that we were able to get those goods back. Takes us to see the Devon president. And this president gives us the Pokenav, and also asks us to do another favor, which is to deliver a letter to Steven in, I believe, Slateport? Regardless. So we're gonna walk out, and we will eventually go talk to Mr. Briny, who should help us sail over to the next part of the story. And then a researcher from Devon Corporation walks out and is like, hey, I can install Match Call on your Pokenav. And then makes us use it right then and there to call the Devon president, who we just talked to. So, yeah, you have to use these menus. It's annoying. We're immediately just going to teleport. So when you use teleport, you go back to the most recent Pokemon Center you used. Which in this case is over in, I believe this is Verdant Earth. I think it's Stevens and Duford, actually. Anyway. Oh, it's Paddleberg. I'm dumb. That's the one thing I can never remember in Pokemon games, is the name of the towns. I don't know why. It's impossible. Especially with this game being in Japanese. Regardless, teleported over to Petalburg. Bought 2 repels, 2 X speeds, and 3 attacks. X attacks, rather. And there is a battle request there from our rival, but you can decline that, thankfully. You don't have to fight the rival there. There will be an upcoming rival fight later in the run that is infamous for being very difficult, but we'll get there. That's not for a little bit yet. So we're sailing around. Got a fun call on our Pokenav. Not much you can do to make this faster, but it doesn't take too long. I've seen autoscrollers that are way worse than this. I honestly don't know why Ringo went into that house, but I'm sure it was for a reason. If anyone knows, let me know. So we've used a repel here. We're going to do somewhat specific movement. Just want to make sure that we aren't wasting any of this repel. So we want to get through this cave in as few steps as possible. Repel ran out, using another. And of course, Ringo's done this so many times. They obviously know where to go. Don't need to use Flash or anything. And here's Steven. So we delivered the lever that we had to go give to Steven. It's pretty much the reason we're here. And I believe we will escape rep out. Yes, we will. We're gonna run back to the boat and sail over to Slateport. So a very quick stop here. Just had to deliver that letter quick. I like how, as thanks for getting the Devon goods back, the president has us do another errand. I mean, to be fair, he also gave us a Pokenav. But I don't know, that's funny to me. We talked to that girl in particular to get the item Soft Sand, which boosts the power of ground-type moves when you equip it onto a Pokemon. And of course, as we have a water ground Pokemon that is going to learn ground-type moves, you can see where that would be useful. So that sailor in the shipyard, excuse me, tells us to find Captain Stern at the museum, who we need to go see. Gotta pay $50 to enter the museum. It's not that much money in this game. Very little, actually. And Timako's gonna run in and start battling us. So we are taking the early EXP route. We've already evolved into Marshtomp. So that grunt's Carvanha explodes immediately. Now this next grunt should have a Zubat, another Carvanha. Could be Carvanha. All is going according to plan here. Couple of tackles on the Zubat. Mudshot should take out this last Pokemon. It is a little faster than us, but it doesn't matter too much. As long as we're faster than the Pokemon that can really do damage, then it's alright. The thing about Marshtomp and Swampert is that they're not the fastest Pokemon in the world. They're not that slow, but they're not very fast. So we definitely need to make sure we're at the correct levels, make sure we've gotten the correct amount of EXP, and then also use a couple X speeds in certain battles, just to make sure we're fast enough. Here's this guy, Scott. He's in search of skilled trainers throughout the Hoenn region. I don't remember what his deal is, I'm gonna be honest. I just kind of ignore him in my playthrough. Professor Birch runs into us and chat with us a little bit. Going to talk to this lady on the right to avoid running into a double battle. There was a double battle on like one of the very first routes in the game that we completely ran past and didn't have to fight. That was because we only had one Pokemon. So you can't do a double battle if you only have one Pokemon. But now we have caught that Tailo and the Abra, so now we have 3. So gotta be a little bit careful about these double battles now. These trainers are Pokefan Isabelle and Caleb, and they both have a Plusle and a Minun, not necessarily in that order. And we're pretty much just going to Mudshot them. I mean, they're electric types, so Mudshot will be super effective, and we're just going to spam that move. Coming up pretty soon after this will be Rival 2. I mentioned this earlier, Rival 2 is infamous for ending challenge runs. The big problem is the Grovyle. Brendan is going to have a Grovyle, and if we get hit by a Grass-type move, it will be 4 times effective, which sucks. Absorb is going to do 30 to 36 damage to this poor Marshtomp. And the Grovyle, coming up, also knows Quick Attack, so if we are at around 8 HP or less, excuse me, then Quick Attack will be likely to kill. Good manip on that trainer. That rotating trainer. Rotato, it is sometimes called. Yeah, saving before this battle. Good call. Alright, here's Rival 2. Opens with the Slugma. That's not too much of a concern. Slugma can't do much to us, so we're going to set up on the Slugma. So we will use 1 X speed to boost our speed by 1 stage, and 2 X attacks. So we boost our attack by 2 stages.
プラスパワー2個とスピード1個で攻撃が2段階
Looks like it put us to sleep. That's fine. We don't care. We're setting up anyway. We don't really care that we're asleep.
でここは何でもないし拾ったんですが起こしちゃダメです。起こすとまたあくびが使ってくるので気をつけましょう。このゲームなぜかそうですね、こうやって状態以上のポケモン相手に普通に状態以上など打ってくるんで AI がおバカさんなのかなのか分かりませんが、
Did heal. We want to be above 45 HP going into this next Pokemon.
首を食らってしまう可能性があるので、それだけは避けたいので基本的には自然で起きることを願ってるんですが、起きましたね。大丈夫ですね。
Wow. Marshall was asleep for so long. Alright, takes out the Slugma. It felt longer than it was. Regardless, here's the Grovyle. Look at that. Massive damage from Absorb. Alright, and we have passed the Grovyle. That's very, very good.
結構マットショットの削りが多かった場合、段数って言って要は振れ幅があるので、その振れ幅が高かった場合は体当たりでも落ちるようになります。体当たりの方が
Brendan's last Pokemon is Wingull. Significantly less of a threat. Water flying type. Can damage us a little bit, but not that much. Couple tackles will do the job.
はい、というわけで有機戦大丈夫ですね。まあ結構しんどい寄りの戦闘だったので問題ないかったですね。あとはもう進むだけです。
That's very, very good. The first try on that fight is what you love to see. I mean, there's a reason Ringo saved before it. It's tough.
はい、コイルです。気をつけましょう。ここ1本間違えるとダブルバトルになっちゃいます。コイルは、鋼電気で、自由が4倍なので泥かけでなぎ倒していきます。
So, on that Magnemite, I believe Water Gun was used, because we are in Torrent. Remember, Torrent increases the power of Water-type moves if we have 1/3 or less of our max HP.
当選の話の続きをすると、さっきのケイシーのもそうなんですけど、どうやってやってるかっていうと、フロータイマーって言って海外の方が作ってくるポケモンの RTA 専用の
There is an elixir here on the right. There it is. That is going to be extremely important to grab, because items like that will restore PP or power points of our Pokemon's moves. And there will be points where we're using a lot of moves and not going to Pokemon centers. So PP restoring moves or items are pretty important. That was Rock Smash that we just grabbed from that guy in the house. Another HM move that is pretty useful, pretty integral. Definitely needed to progress in a couple of spots. And now we are going to get the Mach Bike. And getting this bike, we're immediately going to register it. So when we press select, we'll immediately get on the bike. This bike is where the movement starts getting absurd. When you get up to speed on the Mach Bike, it is so fast. I believe you have, at max speed, 2 frames to turn on a specific tile. That's how fast you're going. So, as you can imagine, very quick, but also pretty difficult to control if you don't have practice. I don't imagine it'll be a problem for Ringo, but for someone like me, that would be tough. It is tough.
こいつはいずれ戦うトレーナーなので先に倒しておこうっていう話ですね。経験値的に先に倒した方が有効的なので、でその後に一回先回復か。ポケモンセンター回復します。でさっきもあったんですが、ブックマークも
Speaking of Pokemon centers, gonna heal real quick right here. And at the local gym is Wally. This is the person who we helped catch a Pokemon, and by helped, I mean just sort of stood there and watched as he served as the catching tutorial. And Wally will initiate a battle with us. He just has this route still, so it's not that big of a deal. We can just mud shot and take care of it. And after this, we're going to head into the gym. This is the electric type gym with Watson as the gym leader. This gym won't be too bad. We have Mudshot, so that'll be super effective on these electric type Pokemon. Their electric type attacks will not be effective against Marshtomp because part ground type. So this gym's not too bad. We do have to fight this youngster first, who has a Zigzagoon and a Gulpin.
はい、大丈夫ですね。このマッドショットで 56.3% なんですが、落ちなかった場合、鳴き声が飛んできて、鳴き声や砂かけが飛んできて、非常にぐだる可能性があります。プラス3ターンぐらい延長しちゃうのかな。はい、なので、こういう運ゲームを基本的に勝っていかないと記録は出ないです。別に。
Yeah, easily took care of those Pokemon. And here we go to Watson. Looks like we're saving briefly. Not a bad idea. There is a bit of setup we have to do on the first couple Pokemon, Voltorb and Electrike, because the last Pokemon, the last two Pokemon, Magneton and Manectric, are the ones we're most concerned about, it seems. So we're going to use an X speed and an X attack here to set up. Voltorb will often self-destruct, but that did not appear to happen, so we're good. Electrike's gonna go down real easy with another Mudshot. There's a question in chat asking if Magneton has Levitate in this game, and because we can take it out with a Mudshot, seems the answer is no. Here's the Manectric. Gonna Mudshot it, should be super effective. And good, takes it out. I believe Manectric has a chance to live there. I didn't do that. This fight went very, very well. Barely lost any HP. Set up without issue. That was good. Good luck, good gameplay from Ringo. You love to see it. で、このままかなし、スタゲタウンの他にいます。で、ここからがあれですね、このゲームの見せ場です。マッハ自転車をめちゃくちゃ使っていきます。一歩でもミスったら無駄トレーナーに当たりますのでよく見といてください。Walk out of our gym and immediately hop on the bike. 大丈夫ですね。当たり前にやってますが。Oh, look at that beautiful mock bike movement. That is so tough. I'm not Dream Tora, I'm Helix. That commentary link is not correct. Was this an optional? Because I'm not finding this trainer in the notes. No, it wasn't an optional. Hmm. So we've gone over here, we have completed the rest of tunnel. I had to do that for story reasons, gonna exit back out and teleport. And here's why we got Rock Smash. We need to break these rocks. No other way to progress through this section. also had to break the rocks in Rust Tunnel as well.
ここからですね、怪力を覚えさせて除去スプレーを使うんですが、怪力はノーマルタイプの威力80技でめっちゃ使えます。ここから敵除けがめっちゃ発生します。よく見といてください。ですね。はい、大丈夫ですね。2歩前までダッシュで誘導して、ダッシュして一瞬 B を離してセレクトの押して自転車に乗ることによって避けることができます。ここもちょうどこのタイミングで電話がかかってくるようにスプレーを調整してますので、一歩もロスができません。ここはバック避けですね。お互いがストップを向いた瞬間にバック開いて閉じて取り抜けていきます。今のも実は敵避けになってまして、
Spike movement is incredible. A little bit of a flub there, but even then, like that was just... It's really impressive when you know how difficult this mock bike movement is. Like, try it for yourself. This stuff is hard.
はい、大丈夫ですね。ここ非常に難しいです。
Here we are in Fall Arbor Town.
一番最後の走ってるやつらなんですが、一歩でもミスると見つかりますので気をつけてください。
So, lots of shopping here. It's all going to go pretty quick because Ringo knows exactly what they're doing. There's exactly the menuing for this, but we're going to sell a nugget we picked up. We're going to sell the TMs for Steel Wing and Rock Tomb. Steel Wing we got from Steven. And we're going to buy a super potion, 2 escape ropes, 11 super repels, 4 X specials, 5 X speeds, 10 X attacks, and 2 guard specs. Oh boy. And we should have exactly 44 Poké Dollars left over, so we have barely enough money to buy all of this. Ringo's route may differ a little bit from what I just said. And a partridge in a pear tree, yeah, right? The route may differ a little bit from what I just said. I am just sort of reading the notes for the most recent any % glitchless guide. But regardless, the most important things there are the X specials, X speeds, and X attacks. I mean, we need those. We need to be able to increase our stats. The repels are pretty important too. We don't want those encounters. And of course the escape ropes, so we can, you know, leave caves pretty quickly. I mean, of course it's all, you know, somewhat important, otherwise we wouldn't be buying it. Especially with the limited money we have at this point in the game. Cutscene here between Team Magma and Team Aqua.
理論が要は通用しまして、画面が安定した瞬間に、自転車に画面の安定が終わった瞬間に振り向きながら自転車を乗れば、先ほどのまず振り向きがカットできます。
Oh, we're just gonna follow them out.
振り向きながら自転車に乗って最速で駆け抜けていけば、まず下に向いているときに、あそこの女の子が避けれます。で、下に向いているときに一歩ダッシュすることによって右側を向くので、
Looks like repel and teleport. Talking to this trainer specifically.
そうですね。今の石で2回敵避けを行っています。あれスムーズにやってますがめっちゃむずいです。そうですね。まあ別に難しいです。
I believe otherwise this would be a double battle that you could run into, and don't want to do that.
怪力連打していきます。
I could be wrong, but regardless, I'm pretty sure we'd have to fight at least one of those 2 trainers, so. And that's why we're doing this fight. Your Pokemon really stand no chance. They're just not at the level they need to be to challenge our Marshtomp right now. So, we kinda kick her butt. Maybe that was just free XP or something. Because we didn't actually go that way. We get to see more of this awesome bike movement.
して自転車乗ってその間に駆け抜けていきます。で、今一瞬ここに入るときに自転車降りたんですね。なんでかっていうと、今自転車の BGM が鳴ってる状態でマップの暗転をするとマップの読み込みが遅くなるんですね。なぜか。なので直前で自転車を降りることによってマップの BGM を戻すことによって、今マップの暗転した時の読み込みを少し短くしています。
On Team Magma stuff. Team Aqua, Team Magma. The villains of the game. This grunt is going to have a Numal, which we can just water gun. It's a ground type. I think it's, what, like ground fire? It's, yeah, not gonna do anything to Marshtomp. It stands 0 chance. This next grunt here will have a Zubat. We have, at this point, taught Strength, another HM move, to Marshtomp. Strength is an 80 base power normal type move. It's pretty strong. I believe it's also 100% accurate. So just a good move to have when nothing else is going to be super effective. And this is Magma Admin Tabitha, who will have 4 Pokemon. None of them are going to pose much of a threat. This first is a level 18 Numal, which we can just water gun. Using Strength on the Poochyena, and also the Zubat coming up. I think that might have been Strength used on the Numal as well. And then Water Gun on this level 22 Numal. And all of Tabitha's Pokemon have been one-hit KO'd. This poor admin had 0 chance. Team Magma really just isn't ready. So we're putting Marshtomp in slot 2 here. So what we're going to do is pretty much sack a Pokemon in order to use Guard Spec. And what Guard Spec does is temporarily prevent stat reduction. So we used it, sacked our Portalo. In comes Marshtomp, going to take care of the Mightyena. Yeah, I meant to use an X attack. I guess it didn't really matter too much when we used it. Also, Dodger's Intimidate. That's a good point. Yeah, Mightyena's Intimidate. Don't have to deal with it if we just lead with a different Pokemon. Using Strength on the Zubat. And then this camera up should go down to a Mud Shot. And there we go. Archie comes by and probably thanks us for taking care of Magma. I don't exactly remember the dialogue that happens at this point in the game. Dodging a couple rotating trainers, that is so impressive to see. Just how Ringo knows exactly what to do. I mean, it makes sense. Ringo's played this game so much, but it's always so cool to see. Just to see how quickly you can pull it off, too. So we used an elixir on Marshtomp there to restore some PP. Go through this gym. If you know where to walk, it's really just nothing. I mean, there are no other trainers to fight. They all pop out of the holes in the ground. But if you know what you're doing, you can avoid all of them.
レポート書きます。強いです。
And here is Gym Leader Flannery. So she will have a Numal, a Slugma, a Camerupt, and a
水
Torkoal.
地面でアスナがこのタイプなんで、まあ、勝てるやろうと思うかもしれませんが、自分もリーダーながらという3番、2番目、3番手ぐらいに強いんじゃないかな。
So Water Gun on the Numal.
倒します。
There should be an X attack coming in on the Slugma to boost our attack just a little bit.
で、このマグマックの前でプラスパワーを打ちます。余計なことは
Yep,
しない
there it
です
is.
が、スモック、いいですね、一番いいですね。まあ、落ちないのか、これ。ライトスクリーンなら、まあ、怪力ですね、回復してきたので。本来は怪力で一発で倒せます。
That's interesting.
エメラルドのもう一個の特徴としては、ゲームが重いってことになります。
There must have been like a ranged miss on that Slugma there or something. I'm a little surprised that it didn't get one hit KO'd. So Flannery used a potion on it. I guess this... I don't know if Torkoal will ever be in potion range. I don't think so, but... If it is, she has one less potion she can use now.
日本バレー大丈夫ですね。ちなみに、なんでさっき、やべえ。はい、もう可愛いですね、アスナちゃん、メロメロになっちゃいました。メロメロはこちらの攻撃が半分の確率で当たらなくなります。
I have no idea what's happening. This is not anywhere in the notes. Swapping to Abra is not anywhere in the notes. I can't read Japanese, so this is interesting. Okay, the Torkoal's gone. Whatever just happened, it worked. I did not... I was not ready for that. Alright. Perhaps a little improv going on. I think when the Slugma didn't get one hit KO'd is where things started to get a little wonky there. It is kind of important to watch your PP usage on some of these moves, so I'm hoping that that doesn't come back to bite Ringo later.
で、ここで山場を1個越えたので、漢方屋に寄ります。そっか、ライバルが話しかけてきます。今って麻痺4分の1じゃねえのです。
Here's Brandon. We don't have to fight him right now. Don't worry.
はい。まあなんか、ゴーゴーゴーグルって砂嵐の中を歩けるようになるアイテムをもらったので、砂嵐が入れるようになります。ここで漢方薬って言って、安い傷薬ですね。安い分。
And so at the shop, we'll buy 7 energy powder, 3 energy root, and 4 heal powder.
若干調整してます。わざと下にあることによってあいつのくるくる回ってるトレーナーをぴったり避けれるようにしています。ここにタウリンが隠れているのでいつも拾います。
That was a rare candy we just picked up.
ホスロースがないから来てるか。はい、ここで不思議な飴が手に入ります。
At least one of those was a rare candy.
わざとここで切れるようにしてます。ここでめっちゃアイテム使います。シルクのスカーフ持たせて、エイダー使ってスプレー使ってうんたらですね。おっと不思議な飴使って30にします。
According to chat, looks like one of them was a nugget, so yeah, that tracks.
とんでもないアイテムです。タウリンは攻撃の努力値10くれます。強いですね。ポケモン入れ替えて、ケイシーでテレポートして、近接に戻ります、一気に。で、近接から自転車で帰っていきます。回った敵避けがどっかであります。
Teleport back to Malville. We are now going to bike south to Slateport City Beach because we need to use the boat.
ハーギローシンか。ハーギローシンが待っているので、そこまで走っていきます。室に戻ります。で、先ほどスルーした陶器を倒しに行きます。さすがにもう大丈夫です。基本本来は2番目に倒すトレーナー、ジムトレーナーなので、ジム3つも倒してる状態で。
A lot of these repel usages have them very conveniently run out on the tile before some rotating trainers. And then from there you can sort of decide what to do with that trainer. You know, if he's spun, you can bike past him. If they haven't spun, you can bag manip them, etc. So going immediately into the gym, Ringo knows exactly where to go, doesn't have to fight any extra trainers, just beeline it immediately to Brawley. Brawly, you're supposed to fight, I believe, as the second gym leader, but you don't have to do that. And so as a result, we are extremely overleveled for this fight.
使ってくるんですね。このように相手の朝の集中力が高めているこの表示は気合パンチの意味します。この後攻撃が当たんなかったら、威力100、命中100、威力150の技を飛ばしてくれる。
The only thing we really care about is this Makahita, but even then,
まあ勝てないです。
it's just not that scary. Mudshot will take it out. Brawly got completely wiped.
さっきからジムリーダーが話し終わった後に電話番号をもらっています。まあ電話番号をもらうことによってジムリーダーと再戦できる機能があったと思います。はい。
So we're now about an hour into this run.
4つ集まりましたので、最初の方に話していたパパと話していたジムバッジ4つやったら拾ったら戦ってあげてもいいよっていうことを言ってるので、帰ります。実家じゃないか。10日に帰ってパパと戦いに行きます。
We are going to now sail to Petalburg. And at this point, we'll pretty much immediately go to the gym and challenge Norman. Of course, if you're familiar with the Petalburg gym, there are a few trainers you have to battle before you can get to Norman. You can't skip them. You have to go like into their room specifically and battle them before you can leave their room.
さあ、いい小脳的、これ基本部屋によって相手の使ってくるタイプのポケモンや種類が違います。戦法や種類が。
This is Cool Trainer Parker. You should just have a Spinda.
このルートを使いますね。オスダね、こちらちょっと強いです。先ほどタウリンを使って攻撃の努力値を10振ったと言ってますが、タウリンのおかげでちょっとオスダ
This isn't a Spinda. Oh, no, I was reading the notes wrong. The Spinda's after this. This is Cool Trainer Randall, who will have a swell up.
オスダには問題ないじゃないんですが。
Yeah, I mean, not much of a problem. Taking the left door here. This will be Cool Trainer Parker. Excuse me. And interestingly, Norman's gym is a normal type gym. Hence his name, Norman. But that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Norman is one of the stronger gym leaders in the game.
嫌ですね。このフラフラダンス混乱しちゃうので、さすがに直します。で、この直してる間に、そうですね、このゲームおバカさんなので、フラフラ混乱してる状態にフラフラダンスしていきます。この金で直してる間に気合パンチを食らうと非常に嫌だ。痛い。19だったらピヨパン耐えるから怪力ですね。そうですね、気合パンチで出てきます。この怪力が、はい、大丈夫ですね。怪力2発が乱数
I'm gonna be honest.
かなり低い乱数。
Don't know what happened there. Beyond, you know, knocking out this window. The lack of ability to read Japanese, I knew was going to be a problem, so... There we go, healing a much jump to full. That one was pretty obvious. Saving before this fight.
ただこのザングス基本的には初手は剣の剣の舞を打ってくるはずです。はい、嫌ですね。切り裂くってきました。
Yeah, the Zangoose can do some damage, as you've seen. Not too much of an issue if we're at full, but, you know, if it gets a crit, if we miss a range maybe, then small chance that it can be a problem. But that's all Jody has. And now we move on to Norman. In Ruby and Sapphire, I believe Norman has 2 Slakings. Only 1 in this game. And it's his last Pokemon. But first we've got to fight a Spinda, and then a Vigoroth, and then a Lightning.
失礼な表現を使ってこのゲームAI があまりよろしくないと言ったんですが、なんでかというとこのパッチルがマジでやばいからです。このパッチル前でプラスパワー4個とスピーダーを積みたい。
So there's a lot of setup on the Spinda. 1x speed and 3x attacks. Oh, what was happening earlier with the Spinda was probably heal powder to get rid of confusion. If we get confused, I imagine that will happen again. Down to 24 HP, Spinda can do at maximum 21 without a crit. Gonna heal Marshtomp again. Just continuing the setup. And that's Spinda down. So out comes the Vigoroth. This Pokemon can hit pretty hard, but got the range with Mud Shot, so that's very good. Here's the Lanoon. And that one's down as well. So here's the Slaking. Slaking has the ability called Truant, which means that... Wow! 1 HP? Oh my goodness. Okay. That was scary. I was a little bit terrified there. This is the thing. Because of that ability, Truant, which means it can only attack every other turn, to balance that out, this Pokemon is extremely powerful, as you have just seen. But we're fine. Just barely. Clutch 1 HP live. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Slaking's attack stat is unbelievably high. Because, like I said, it has that ability, Truant. Every other turn, Slaking will be loafing around. If you're doing, like, a Nuzlocke or something, it can be really helpful to have a Pokemon that knows Protect for that Slaking, because, I mean, then you can just Protect, and it won't be able to hit you. And then on the turns where it's loafing around, then you can do whatever you want. So we have just acquired Surf. Immediately taught it to Marshtomp. Gonna Surf down here. Pick up a rare candy, I believe. Using Teleport once again, getting a lot of use out of this Abra. You can see how much time it saves. But it's really important, wow, English. It's really important, excuse me, in a lot of spots to make sure we aren't using a Pokemon Center, because Teleport always takes you back to the last Pokemon Center you used. We need to keep going back to Mauville, so if we use the Center, then Teleport is going to take us somewhere completely different. This route's going to have tall grass, which you can't bike through. And also, a lot of trainers. Luckily, most of them are optional. Here we go, up into the Weather Institute, which Team Aqua has pretty much taken over right now. So we've got to fight some grunts. And you might be really concerned about the fact that Marshtomp is still at 1 HP. It's okay. It's okay, because this means we are in Torrent. So Surf is going to be even more powerful than it already is. It's already a really good move, but it's going to be even more powerful in Torrent.
エメラルドからかな、こうやって2人同時に見つかった時にダブルバトルが発生する
So that's what we're going to do to the Zubat and the Poochyena, who this grunt has.
まあ何回かあります。エズバトルなので倒していきます。基本的にこの辺の先手は波乗りですね。キバニアも波乗り今一つなんですが、激流入ってるとワンパンで倒せます。このトレなんですが、一歩だけ歩かせます。一歩だけ歩かせないとめんどくさいからです。次のトレーダーの敵除けが数回発生しちゃうからです。
That's the last grunt we have to fight. Another Poochyena and a Carvanha.
そうか、今回ケイシ
There's Poochyena.
そうですね。まあ見つかってもダブルバトルにならないですが。
And then there are a lot of options for the Carvanha. Strength, Mudshot, Surf, and Torrent should also do the trick.
ただ歩かせるのがロスなんで結局はそうですね。今手持ちピカソいや。ドゥーンして話しかけて下に向くのを待ってからバック避けしつつ不思議な網を使います。こうケースにカスラってるので気をつけてください。
Bag Miniping this trainer. And we're going to talk to Shelly.
で次幹部ですね。幹部のこれ泉ちゃんだっけ。
So here is another Aqua admin.
いつも波乗りで蹴散らして終わりです。激流に入っていないとこの基盤にマットショットを打たなきゃいけない。
Carvanha has rough skin, so clicking a wrong choice would be very costly. That is a very good point in chat from Shiny Tentacruel.
イバルを食らったり、噛みつこを食らったりでいろいろめんどくさいです。ただ激流入ってるのでワンパンで倒せます。大丈夫です。
Unit goes down on one hit. Very, very good. And Shelly has been defeated.
で、これでお天気研究所が終了して、まあマグマ団が奥ビ山いるから奥ビ山に行くぞみたいな話してて、で、俺にポワー
So we've pretty much saved the Weather Institute. The scientists there are pretty happy. They force a cast form upon us. We have to take. Not a huge deal. We can use this bed to heal, which is pretty cool. There's a bed and a PC right there, which is great. So our Marshtomp is no longer at the very scary, 7 HP it was at after that fight. Here's Brendan again, and we do have to fight him this time. Pretty much has the same Pokemon he did last time. The only difference is that the Wingull has evolved into Pelipper. So we do need to be wary of the Grovyle again. So we're going to set up a little bit on the Slugma with an X speed and an X attack. Slugma's down. Here's Grovyle. Perfect. Down in one hit. Good stuff. And Pelipper we're not too concerned about. So real quick here, there are a lot of things that are going to happen. We'll bike up to the tall grass, and then immediately, a bunch of things. Use a Super Repel, teaching Fly to Tailo, teaching a Shockwave to Cast Form over Rain Dance, swapping Cast Form to Slot 2, and taking the Mystic Water that it came with off, and then we'll take Swampert's item, Soft Sand, off of Swampert, and give Swampert the Mystic Water. Also, it's Swampert now. We have evolved into Swampert, and I did not mention that, but it has happened, I believe. Swampert, of course, being the final evolution.
でポケモンセンターによってこれもブックマークですね。回復はしません。また後でテレポート使ってここに戻ってきます。
We now have entered the Pokemon Center. You don't actually have to heal at it to set your teleport hub. You just have to enter it. So we did that. We can now teleport back to Fort Tree whenever we want. Pretty sure it's still Marshtomp. You might be right. I was looking at the sprite and it looked like Swampert, and the notes here are saying Swampert, and I'm like, oh, it's Swampert now. But actually, the little sprite in the menu for Swampert and Marshtomp, if you haven't seen them in a while, definitely look a little similar. No, that's definitely Marshtomp. It'll be Swampert soon. Next level, then. I didn't remember if it evolved at 34 or 36. Yeah, it's definitely 36. Gotta brush up on my Pokemon knowledge. Come on, Helix.
でこの一歩だけ登録さんのためにシルバースプレーを使います。電車降りて乗って波乗りで、もう完全に移動だけのロスなんですが、このわざわざ波乗りして不思議な波を拾いに行きます。大事です。で雨を取って戻ってで、まあもう一回適用か。この木の実非常に大事です。海外では取らないです。
More excellent bike movement. Grabbing some berries. Ooh.
赤玉がいるので進めて、もうあと4回敵がこの後あります。バックよけです。バックよけのバックじゃなくてもポケモンの移動でもポケモンの画面でも大丈夫です。同じアンテナでダッシュでチャリンコ乗って。
I believe those were Personberries. Personberries. Be pretty useful.
要は空を飛べるようにして、シルバースプレー使ってます。でここであれですね。はい、沼黒から、
Now we're evolving. Excuse my mistake earlier. Now we have Swampert.
木の実は、この後、視力を変えた時に使うんですが、視力を変えるやつが自分で混乱する技を使っちゃうので基本的には戻した方がいいです。で、ラグラジに進化させて歩いてよけてダッシュチャリ。はい、大丈夫ですね。
So the nice thing about the Personberries is that they will cure confusion. Those won't come into play until pretty much the late game. Anyway, we are now into Mount Pyre.
この後もそうですね。この後くぶり山の頂上に入るんですが、頂上に入る時も一瞬自転車降りるのでよく見ておいてください。見てますね。こっちの方が読み込みが早いんです。
Yeah, not a ton happening here until you get to another Team Aqua section. And there are just a handful of grunts we have to fight. It's really not too much going on. And take down this Carvanha. The next one will have a Zubat. Take that out with Surf. You kind of know the drill by this point, especially now that we've evolved into Swampert. We have those better stats.
次ズバットですね。この辺は特に問題はないですね。あれのダブルバトルか。はい。で続いて初めてかな。
Suppose the notable thing is that this is a double battle, and there's really no way to make it not a double battle.
ダブルバトルってこれに関してはトレーナーが1対2なので不利なんですけどね、普通に考えたら。ここでポアルンが大事ですね。先ほど電撃波を覚えさせたのはこのためです。波乗りでオチェーナを倒して、波乗りは全体、あ、そうか。それもそうか。
So the neat thing that we can do here is use Strength on the Poochyena, and then with Cast Form we can press Shockwave on the Poochyena slot, but because Swampert will go first, knock out the Poochyena, then Cast Form will Shockwave the only remaining Pokemon on the field, which in that case was the Whalmer.
相手にだけ当たる技ですね。相手にだけ当たる技で 味方には当たりません。で、当時の相手にだけ当たる技、相手2人にだけに当たる技は、確か威力が2分の1とかになって、2分の1とか覚えてないけど、結構半減されます。逆に地震みたいに全体に当たる技、味方にも当たって敵にも当たる、敵2人にも当たる技は、
But yeah, that double battle, pretty much a piece of cake. Finding that cast form is actually useful.
はい、大丈夫ですね。で、まあ、ここら辺はストーリ
So
ーです。
not entirely a solo run, but pretty close. There will be another Pokemon used later on as well. That was a rare candy that was just grabbed. And now we're going to teleport back. It is now time for the Fortress City Gym.
で、ここに隠れ音いるのがいるので、ここの隠れ音だけなぜか戦闘にならないんですね。なので、そのまま、すぐ抜けていきます。で、ここが、まあ、要は、なんだろうな。
I was awful at this puzzle as a kid, by the way.
いい感じに進んでいくんですが、次のダブルバトルがちょっと面倒というか、運ゲーなので、いろいろと。
So here's another forced double battle.
対して大事な戦闘になっていきます。
Gonna make some use of cast form again.
あと、ペリッパは守りをしないでほしい。
Gonna be Strength and Shockwave for the first couple turns, and then the last couple turns will be Surf and Shockwave.
はい。堂々、これはオオスバメのガムシャラって技は HP を同じにしてくる技なんですが、おそらくポアルに取りました。回避で堂々倒して、堂々倒した後に出てくるペリッパーに4倍の電撃波をぶち当てます。はい、そうですね。で、ペリッパーに怪力を当てたいが、この守るでこれだけタイムロスになります。いやですね。技で打つ。大丈夫かな、大丈夫か。怪力でペリッパーを。はい、大丈夫ですね。これペリッパー怪力を打ってこの、守り使ってきてないので大丈夫です。ただ、ポアルの HP がマックスなのが少し気になる。
Gotta get rid of this Tailo now.
いいですね。ポアルに削ってくれると嬉しい。76は大丈夫だよね、確か。ジャストで。
And there it is.
そうですね。HP 的には、はい、もうほぼ。
Or Swallow, rather. Evolve from a Swallow. There's still the Xatu, that's right. Can't forget about that. But yeah, it's really like this isn't much of a problem. The big thing was the Swallow taking a few turns to take down, but that's because we focused the other side of the battle first, with the Doduo and the Pelipper. Another fight here, Birdkeeper Darius. Now this trainer should have a Tropius, which is pretty neat.
もちろんこっちに氷技とかないので普通にワンパンができません。怪力打って相手が急所に当たりやすい葉っぱカッターを打ってきます。大丈夫ですね。ここ急所に当たってもまあ積みはしません。ここで急所に当たって葉っぱカッターがでラグラジが死んでもその後のポアルンがこの影響を覚えているので
Wow, actually took it out. Normally that Tropius will faint Swampert. Didn't happen though, which is nice. So we're gonna use a couple of rare candies on Swampert here. Normally you would revive Swampert using the rare candy, but Swampert didn't faint, so it's fine, we're good. It would be finishing off the Tropius with cast form normally. I was going to make some funny comment about how you might be really concerned because our Swampert just died, but no, we lived. Anyway, here is Gym Leader Winona. Use a couple strengths on the Tropius. After this will be a Pelipper, and this Pelipper is safe to set up on, not a threat to us, so we will use 3 X attacks, which is quite a few. That's why we bought 10 of them.
で最初多分守るを使ってくるので、あえて岩砕きを使います。なんでかっていうと回撃の TP がもったいないからですね。岩砕き使って透かしてから回撃打ちます。これでナギちゃんも大丈夫ですね。
Alright, and the Pelipper's gone. So here's Skarmory. We are in Torrent, so Surf should be able to do the job. Good stuff, there it is. Finally, the Altaria. So, strength here is a range. And we hit it. Sweet. Swampert wants to learn Muddy Water. We're not going to do that. We have Surf. It is somewhat interesting to note that Gen 3 did not see the physical special split yet. And so our Swampert here is kind of a mixed attacker. Some physical moves, so like the ground moves and the normal type moves, and some special moves like Surf, the water type moves. A really good trick to remember what types are special in generations 1, 2, and 3 is that special types, there's an evolution for every special type plus the dragon type. So special types are every evolution plus dragon. The rest are physical.
自転車の BGM になってないので今回は降りる必要がないです。自転車の BGM の間だけ読み込みが遅くなるみたいな感じですかね。すごい簡単に言うと。明確に言うと間違ってはいるんですが。
We're on our way to Magma Hideout.
はい、で、ここはデコボコサンドをぴょんぴょん降りてって、さっきまでなんかマグマ弾の下っ端がいたところに穴が開いて、洞窟ができるのでそこに入っていきます。マグマ弾が必要ですね。で、怪力で移動して、怪力ってここで初か。
And finally, make some use of strength as more than just an attacking move.
はい、基本的にここからの戦闘はしばらく。
And of course, you've got to do some battles.
なんでかっていうとこちらのレベルが39なのに対し相手のポッチャナがレベル29で弱くて、しかもレベル
It's really just a Poochyena here that we can knock out with strength. I mean, we're 10 levels above it, and it's not evolved. Like, yeah.
火星のぐらいな25とか出てくるはずなので多分進化してます。はい、ここ操作大事です。一本も見せれません。
This next grunt should have a Numal, which we can also just strength. Again, it's another one of those Pokemon that's just not a threat at all. Lots of grunts here. It's gonna be a lot of just running through these grunts for a little bit. Yes. スプレー使ってから最後穴抜きの紐に一瞬合わせてましたね。この後に使うアイテムが穴抜きの紐だからです。はい、まあこの辺もあまり話すことはないですね、これ以上。まあ、なのでちょっと一瞬話をした海外勢の話を少ししようかな。まずポケモンのこの3世代、ルビーサファイアエメラルドファイアレットリーフグリーンの作品だけ日本語版と海外版で相手のポケモンが違ってくるんですよね。相手のポケモンのレベルとか技構成やポケモンの種類とかは変わってこないんですけど、相手のポケモンの性格が変わります。要は Yeah, there's really not a lot to say here. We're just using strength to get through these grunts.
まあなんかトレーナーの文字コードで
They're so unimportant. One Pokemon each goes down in one hit. Like, yeah.
文字コードが違うからそれトレーナー変わってくるよねっていう話になります。なので例えば先ほどチルットを激流の波乗りで
There will be a double battle pretty soon. But even that won't be that interesting.
絶対に滅びの歌を食らう率がつきまとったりします。なので非常に結構別ゲーです。逆に海外版の良さもあれば日本語版の良さもあるっていうことではありますね。
であとワンパンできないって話があったんですけど、チルットじゃなくてその後のトロピウスが
You just play the game. We're such a high level at this point And the types of Team Magna's team, they just have nothing that can threaten us. Really the only thing we're worried about right now are grass type attacks. They don't have any. they don't have those. Even if they did, we're faster and we knock out their Pokemon in one hit.
基本的にそういう保険的なアイテムは取っていきません。なので、黄色みを取ってないだけです。
Castform. I'd say the Castform putting in some work, but I think Surf hit both those Pokemon, so it doesn't matter. But we did do Surf and Powder Snow on the Castform. Finally, we get to a Magma admin. This is Tabitha again. But even this is just going to be a slew of one-hit KOs. Strength on the Numal here, and then Surf spam for the rest of the fight. アミーバさんかな、アモエバって書いてアミーバさんが作ってくれて、それをニゴさんが日本語版に要は注文したような、合わせたような感じになってます。なのでほぼ作ったのあの調整、アミーバさんで、他のポケモンの乱数調整関連に関して大体海外勢が作ってくれてます。なので基本的に日本ではそれにもうありがとうございますって。There is a max revive that can be picked up after this fight. We'll see if Ringo grabs it for safety. Might not. Of note, we are an hour and 30 minutes into the run, so there's maybe about an hour left in the run. Somewhere around that. そのアミーバさんは、リンゴさんがエメラルドを走ってた時に、最初は電池をオンにしてやっていたんですが、アミーバさんが電池をオフにすると、potentially more if we end up pretty close to this estimate. Saving before this fight, and here, yeah, because here's where things can get a little bit interesting. It's Magma Admin Maxi. The Pokemon that we're most concerned about here, and there's Groudon. Whoop-de-doo, there's Groudon. Is Crobat, which is the second Pokemon that Maxi will have. The first Mighty unit here will go down with the Surf, not a big deal. But this Crobat is extremely fast, as Crobat's off on R, and can hit pretty hard. Plus, I mean, we started with pretty low HP. So we're fine for now. Maxi always heals that turn, so we don't need to worry about healing. And it's out. Alright, we should be fine, because this Camerupt can just be taken out with Surf. The thing we're most concerned about there was Crobat getting a crit. But even then, Crobat does maximum 30 damage, which is a decent chunk. But we're good. And we're getting the heck out of dodge, using an escape rope and flying over to Slateport. And if you haven't had enough of these hideouts, we now have the Aqua hideout to go do.はい、なので、潜水艇を盗んでいったアクアダンを追っかけていきます。で、先ほど一瞬ミナモシティに入ったのはこのためです。一瞬ミナモシティに入ったことによってミナモシティに空を飛ぶが飛べるようになります。ミナモシティにアクアダンの人が行くのでそこに行っていきます。Here's the hideout, just off the beach of Lily Cove. So the Master Ball is in this hideout. Interested to see if Ringo grabs it or not. There is a catch manip that can be done in Rayquaza. So the Master Ball is not always necessary. Also, spoiler alert, we're catching Rayquaza.
ちなみに、左下の方にマスターボールがあるんですが、まあ、ね、
Hopping into a double battle here.
多分取りに行かないです。波乗りで倒していきます。
There's not too terribly much that's going on.
そうですね、
Gonna
ちなみに
surf to take down the Zubat and Fushigena.
波乗りを取りに行かないで、すっ飛ばしてしまうとマスターボールが取れなくなってしまいます。
And this Carvanha will come out.
なのでそういう仕様は
And we use Shockwave on the cast form. So that should take down the Carvanha pretty soon. Yep, there it is. All that's left is the Zubat. And it's gonna go down pretty quick. There's another double battle after this, which we can just kind of press surf on. This is somewhat similar to the Magma Hideout. Not quite as many trainers to fight, though. It's not too bad. Doesn't seem like the Master Ball was picked up.
はい、戦闘が入ります。まあ、ダブルバトルですが、激流波乗りを連打するだけで終わります。で、この辺でポアルン、でも大丈夫か。先ほどポアルンの HP が削れてるのがいいっていうのは、もっと後ろの方の戦闘ですね。この後にダブルバトルのジムリーダーがいるんですけど、その辺で役に立っていきます。この辺はぶっちゃけ HP 削れてるか削れてないか。
Yeah, I mean, easy double battle.
攻撃が飛んでこないかです。
It's definitely one of the more boring parts of the run, just because there's nothing to be concerned about. Which is generally a good thing if you're the runner, but...
マックスの場合、多い場合はこの辺でポアルンの防御のステータス確認して、
Just makes it so that not too much happens. So here's Aqua Admin Matt, and like Tabitha, he poses pretty much no threat. We're just gonna press Surf twice and take it out. We are in Torrent. That's a big help, is the fact that we're in Torrent still, but yeah, we can just mash Surf.
この辺の戦闘もサファイアだとちょっと強いんですが、相手が。まあでも、エメラルダだと基本的にこっちが強いので大丈夫ですね。激流波乗りが強すぎます。で、これでアクアダンのアジトは終わりです。まだボス倒してないのでどっかで倒します。
There is a max elixir that we can grab coming up, and that'll be pretty important. Another one of those PP restoring moves, or items rather. There it is. Gonna leave the hideout now. Do a couple things here. We will use the last super repel. We will also heal Swampert. So we're finally gonna be done sitting at this like 12 HP, this really scary looking 12 HP. Gonna heal up to full. And also use the max elixir, so we can get all of our PP back that we just used so much of on those hideouts. So here's the swimmer, which can actually be kinda scary because of this Gyarados. So their strength does about a third, a little over. Gyarados hasn't even done half of our HP, so we should be fine. Yeah, it seems fine. Sometimes you want to actually use that Gyarados to put yourself back in Torrent after healing. but probably not worth doing here because this is a marathon. You don't really want to risk being at low HP in a marathon.
はい、ここダブルバトルです。ここが、徳サネジムですね。結構強力なジムです。一番強いのかな
Anyway, this is the Moss Deep Gym. And there are actually quite a few battles we have to do before we can get to the gym leaders, Tate and Liza.
特に言うことはないです。のユンゲラは絶対に未来落ちをしてくるので無視していいです。なので先にキルリアを倒します。未来落ちは
Kadabra is a pretty powerful Pokemon, but is very squishy, so goes down pretty quick. That battle's already over.
で壁ドンして入ってこのなんかパネルを押すとなんか矢印の方向に動くのでそれを利用してポケモントレーナーと極力戦わないようにしています。わざわざ一回外に出てから動かしてます。そうでもせんと
And of course, Ringo knows exactly what he's doing here with these puzzles. He's done this so many times before. Here's Psychic Macy. We're just gonna strength the Natu. I mean, it's not even evolved, it's just a Natu.
このネイティで調整をしますが、このネイティにマットショットを連打してこう技を連打するんですが全然いい感じの技をしてくれないのでめんどくさいです。でここで、要は道を開けてから戻ります。でまたトレーナーを避けるように配置して、進んでいきます。ここもそうですね。こう3回ぐらい押さなきゃいけないかな。3回押して前に進みます。
It's kind of mesmerizing seeing these puzzles done so quickly.
基本的には戦闘は時間かかるのでダメです。PP もカツカツですのでこの辺は。
We're gonna surf this meta tight. It's... yeah, I mean...
壁ドンしてずらしてずらして戦闘に入ります。で、なんでポワルンの HP がマックス
Here's a Curlia from Psychic Hannah. We're gonna use Strength and one-shot it. Are you seeing a pattern here? Of us one-hit KOing some Pokemon. But the next battle is Tate and Liza, and this one is actually pretty difficult. I'm interested to see if Ringo saves here.
自信っていう技を持っているんですね。で、その自信っていう技でポワルンが落とせないときには自信を打ってこないんですよ。ただ HP の調整的に自信じゃない自信を
Yeah, saving. Good call, in my opinion.
基本的にはポワルンの HP が削れてるのを確認してから入ります。ポワルンの HP が削れてない場合はケーシーを先頭にして絶対に
So, there are a couple things we're gonna do. First things first, we need to X speed. Because, yeah, we need to be at a higher speed.
自信を打ってくるんですが、ポワルン自身は自信を食らいません。ネイティオがなぜかネイティオがポワルンにサイクルゲンスを打ってくれます。
Oh, there's the X speed. Castform's gonna die. That's fine. That is okay. We'll send out our bird. Now on this next turn, we'll use an X special and revive Castform. So this turn, the bird dies. It was only level 6. I mean, what you expect? The poor Taylor. So we'll send out Abra. Abra's gonna die too. And now this is why we've revived Castform. We can send out the Castform.
今ポワルンがワンパンできる状態なので、自信を打っていきます。で、原子の力で HP が上がってる状態でまずい。
Heal Swampert. Yeah, that's probably smart.
特攻も上がってる状態でまずいので、すごい傷口が使っていい感じに HP を
So we'll see how this goes. We used Castform's turn to heal Swampert. So we can use Surf with Swampert. That hit both of the opposing Pokemon. Now we're out of secondary Pokemon. So it's all Swampert now. This HP is a little scary. Yeah.
ね。はい。
Yeah, Ringo knows.
はい、
Soft reset, it wasn't gonna happen.
耐えられることもあります。
はい、今のはしょうがないです。
That was a smart save. This is a tough,
普通にはなってたよね。なってたもんね。ってなってるよね。
tough battle.
はい、まあなので原子の舞は基本的には
Usually the double battles aren't too bad because the Pokemon you're facing are relatively weak, but not these. And especially when we don't have a good secondary Pokemon to help out, like, the best we have is Cast Form, and it's 14 levels under Tate and Liza's level 41. So it really can't do much.
エンドールの波乗りの乱数が非常に悪かったんだろう、多分な、どっちも2発したら。同じようにかけられ蘇生していきます。なので、ここはあんまし原子の力を打ってほしくない、正直。
We're doing the same thing again. X speed. Cast form dies. X special. Revive the cast form. Bird dies. The Aber dies. Send out the cast form again. And then we're going to start clicking Surf.
波乗り2回乱数です。92.2% です。答えられたらまたリセです。
That looked like... Seemed to do more damage to the Claydol than it did last time. I don't know if it was a crit or what, but... Low HP. This could be interesting. The Claydol's gone. That's very good. That's probably the biggest threat on the field because he can use Earthquake, and the Zatu's gone as well. Beautiful. So we should be okay now. Surf is a range on Lunatone, but it's like a 93% to KO. So we should be fine. Solrock goes down. See what happens to the Lunatone. And it goes down. Perfect. Tate and Liza have been defeated. And we have another gym badge. Not too bad. Not too bad. Obviously you want to see a first try, but a second try, not awful. Didn't get stuck here for too long. Very smart to save before that battle. I figured that would happen. I mean, you have to play things a little bit safe in a marathon. And it's shopping time. So the things we were buying this time: 2 Hybrid Potions, 2 Revives, 2 Full Heals, and a whopping 11 X attacks and 11 Max Repels. The actual amounts of item spot might be slightly different. Again, Ringo's route might be a little different than this guide I'm referencing. But lots of X attacks is the big thing here, and repels. So we're into the Space Center now, and it's yet more Magma Grunts. I mean, y'all know the deal here. We're just gonna one-shot all of their Pokemon. It's so funny. After a handful of fights, we'll approach Steven, and at that point, we need at least 7 Surfs remaining. PP on Surf becomes a very valuable resource. It's funny because there's a discussion on this going on in chat right now. PP matters a lot. Just especially in the speedrun, which we're using a very specific route that does not allow us to enter Pokemon centers without changing our teleport location. And oftentimes we don't want to heal anyway because we want to be in Torrent. By the way, if you're interested in following the runner, I believe their Twitch is Ringo777. I think I just saw it on stream. If you want to follow the world record holder in Pokemon Emerald.
でなんでかってこの間ここの3人連戦になるんですが1匹ずつしか持ってないので基本的にはさっきの
Not just the world record holder, but the owner of the fastest time across all versions of the game. Not that it's a super fair fight. I mean, I'm sure the Japanese version is faster than the English version, and most people play on the English version. But still, beating the game in 2 hours and 23 minutes total, that's a pretty good achievement. So here we are. Next to Steven, we need at least 7 surfs. We're gonna save, because this is a battle against Maxi and Tabitha.
一番タイムのブレが激しい戦闘だと僕は思ってます。なんでかっていうと、マルチバトルでしてポケモンの RTA でよくある、自分と CPU のチーム対 CPU と CPU のチームで味方が CPU なので構造がうまく制御できません。なので
I like how we have the option to bring up to 3 Pokemon, but we only have the one that's unfainted. I wonder what Steven's thinking, because we only have 1 Pokemon that's alive, and it's at like 33 HP. We are going to use a Guard Spec and an X Special.
カツカツの状態で突っ込まなきゃいけないので、基本的にはこちらの防御面を上げてくれるリフレクターを打ってほしいんですが。打ってくれましたね。いいですね。これは非常に大きいです。リフレクター打ってくれれば、でも翼でいいのかな。
The Surf knocks out Mightyena and camera up. Very good. That was a range on the Mightyena.
波乗りでワンパンできない時も多いので大変です。このクロバットが強いです。ラグラージより素早さが高いです。
鳥が連続ででしたから。
微妙。クレームだと優しい、非常に優しいが落ちないんだよね。そうなんだよね。
Oh, they both survived.
これは非常に痛い。
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think Steven just took out the Golbat. That's cool. So we're just gonna keep doing Surf at this point. Oh no. Yeah, that must have been Wing Attack from the Crobat. That's the thing we didn't want to see. It was Wing Attack from Crobat onto Swampert. With the amount of HP that we had left, that was pretty much guaranteed to KO. So that's why we saved. Not the end of the world.
そうですね。本当は50弱ぐらい欲しいんですが、今回はそれができないので厳しいっていう話をさっきしてましたね。なので、メタン部は今回はそんな悪くなかったので、純粋に相手の行動運がちょっと良くなかったですね。翼で打つと食らうこと自体がそもそも運が悪いので。リフレクター初手優しいか。
So same thing again. Guard Spec, X Special. And then just start mashing Surf and hoping Stephen helps out a little bit.
で、怖い顔をかわして、光の顔打って、このバックだから突進打ってくるので非常に嫌だ。嫌だ嫌だいやこれまたさっきみたいに翼を打つが2回飛んでくると負けちゃいます。ぐらいのタイヤだった。
Question in chat, how to switch from bar to numbers on the HP display. I assume it's by pressing select. I don't actually know. That's not something I've ever cared to do. But it's definitely helpful in terms of speedrunning. Being able to see the numbers instead of the bar in double battles. It's probably either like select or R or something. This is looking a lot better. The Crobat is off the field. All that's left is the camera up.
メタルクローラーで倒せる状態だったんで、これはバグで見
あ、
て
そうですね。
Well, and the Golbat. No, there's still a few more.
はい
Getting a little ahead of myself.
ここでバグだが出てくれたのはありがたいですね。
Oh, it could be start, yeah.
バグが出てきてしまうと怪しかったかな。
このゴルバットを翼で移ってくると嫌だ。非常に嫌だ。
Oh, there's the Crobat. Okay.
飛距離
あ、優しいですね。
So there's the Pokemon we're scared of again. Crobat is a 2-hit KO, which is the big problem here. Oh, just healing. That's probably smart. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's double attack. We're pretty much in the same spot again, so... Gonna heal again. I guess hope that they don't keep attacking Swampert? Oh, but they do. They're actually doing slightly more damage than we're healing as well. Healing one more time. This is a really sticky situation. It all goes so well until the Crobat comes out. It looked like it was going so well. Alright, so the Golbat's gone. That's helpful. But we're still in range for Wing Attack to KO, so we need to heal yet again. Looks like it's just the Crobat left. There we go. So we should be fine now. Crobat is not going to be able to kill from this HP unless it's a crit, but that wasn't a crit, so we're fine. The Crobat's gone. We should be past this fight. Yeah, there we go. That was a little scary.
もっとなんならこっちにダメージ飛んでこないので、バクダが年寄ってくることがまあそんなないので、それを食らっちゃうとまあこうなりますよねっていう話です。力の粉は1個残ってるのでギリギリ大丈夫です。で、傷薬回復かな。で、ここで忘れずに大悟さん家に行って、
We're gonna visit Steven here. He'll give us dive. Yet another water type HM move in this game. So here we're gonna use a potion apparently, and a max repel. And then teach dive over Mudshot on Swampert.
これでラグラージはもう秘伝技だけになりましたね、完全にね。秘伝要因です、ラグラージはもうここから。まあそれがラグラージの強みでもありますね。このゲーム、波乗り、滝登り、ダイビングって水の技が3つのRTA じゃねえや、ストーリー攻略に必要になるんですけど、それを全部覚えてくれるので、ラグラージは。それに加えて怪力や学だけも覚えているので、まあ RTA 的にもラグラージは早いですね、やっぱり。
Diving specifically at that rock and go immediately into the cave.
で、このダイビングで、ここに海底洞窟っていうのがあるので、ここに入っていきます。これちょっと敵置きがあります。落書きして、回撃して移動させて、この辺から自転車を降りたりと。
Yeah, so at this point, Swampert is slowly becoming an HM machine. Has dive, rock smash, and strength. No, it's all HMs. It's dive, rock smash, strength, and surf. But two of these moves are still useful, surf and strength, especially. Those being the useful moves. But it's kind of sad that Swampert just becomes the HM Pokemon eventually.
この BGM が、遅くならないためです。読み込みが重くならないために、自転車に乗ってます。ここで怪力をダッシュで避けて、自転車乗ってまたダッシュで避けます。
Doing the puzzle to avoid those trainers.
ここはひたすら怪力ですね。難しい話だ。昔なんかここでサファイアがなんかで変な怪力が出てきたんだよな。変な怪力の映画が。魚が見つけたんだよ。
Bells run out. Just gonna use it again.
で、ここは最後の ラグラージ使う戦闘ですね。セーブを書きます。ここで記録をついえた人が
And now we are going to safety save, because when we walk below Kyogre, this will prompt a battle with Aqua Leader Archie.
ラスボスというか、アクアザのラスボスはオギーです。ぶっちゃけ使ってくるポケモンは、松房とそんな変わんないんですが、まずこのぐらいな、激流じゃないと倒せないです。激流じゃなかった場合、ランスが 62.5% です。で、このちゃんとのクロバットの攻撃を2回受けるんですが、受けたくない。まずスピーダーでクロバットとサメ肌の上を取れるようにします。やかったやめて。
Here's Crobat again.
力の粉で回復して。
We're going to set up a little bit on this Crobat, actually. X Speed, Energy Powder, and an X Special. Mighty Una went down to Surf. Mighty Una, once again, proving to not be an issue. But the reason we're setting up so much on this Crobat is so we can take down the Sharpedo in one shot. So, at this point, we should be able to just Surf and the Sharpedo should go down. Perfect. And that's Archie done.
ギリギリ上がらない方がいいです。なんでかっていうと、この後ラグラージは戦闘で使わないのと、46レベルになると確か守るかなんかを覚えちゃうので、それを覚えさせないっていうことをするためにも時間がかかってしまうからです。逆に言えばここから先無駄取りかなんかやったってラグラージの経験値がちょっと増えてしまうと大幅なタイムロスになります。で、こっからしばらくがちょっとだいぶ退屈な区間でひたすらストーリーを進めていきます。はい、なんか雷が鳴ってますね。なんでかっていうとカヨガとかフラドンが暴れ出して異常気象になっちゃったからです。
This is just a general, story cutscene. Not much you can do here outside of MASH.
で、どうやって大悟どうやってこの時期にここに
Steven shows up, talks to us a bit, and Steven's gonna leave. Yeah. Anyway. So we're gonna surf down pretty much all the way to Pacific Log Town, going on a very specific route here to avoid some trainers. There are a good handful of swimmers on these routes that we want to avoid. And the reason we're going all the way to Pacific Log is because we need it as a fly location. Using another repel. Would rather not have a bunch of encounters. And we have arrived at our destination. Unlocked it as a fly location. And now it's time to fly back to Lily Cove. And now we surf to Sutopolis.
少し左下に進むだけですね。この岩のところで使うとちょうどいい感じに入り口の前で降りれるので、そのまま起き上がっていきます。で、ここで、はい、おなじみというか有名なシーンですね。グラードンで会話がですが、グラードンの陸地がちょっとだけしかありません。しかも雨が降っています。勝てないですね。ちょっとオタクの話をしますと、確かグラードンの方が素早さが低いので、特性的にはグラードンがじゃんけんで勝ちそうな気がするんですが、特性の左で。
And then, story stuff, cutscene stuff. You play Pokemon Emerald.
やばいよねっていう状況なので、
Groudon on his tiny little rock,
大悟がいます。
hoping to stand a chance against Kyogre in the entire sea.
今大悟が結局なんかここらの方に連れてきてくれるので、まあそのまま従いますと。
So Steven's gonna take us to see Wallace. He was the champion. I don't know why Steven isn't the champion in this game, like he is in Ruby Sapphire.
ゲームアドバンスを使える
It's weird.
的にやってます。大体の奏者がそっちが多いですね。ゲームアドバンスの作品は。ゲームボーイプレイヤーのいいとことしては、コントローラーを複数させたら全部一つのプレイに使えるってことです。今リンゴさんはおそらく、普通の GC コンと、GC のゲームキューブの連射コントローラーで
Anyway, there's Wallace.
連コンとあとはゲームボーイアドバンス SP を挿してプレイしていると思います。でその SP を使っても GC コン使っても連射コンを使っても操作できるっていう、非常に優秀な、プラットフォームをしています。なので普段の操作で
And it's really just, you
連射区間
play the
で連
game.
射コンを使って
Escape rope to get out of the cave.
ことが簡単にできるわけですね。そういう機能がスイッチにもあるとね、連射コン
And then we fly over to Pacific Log.
はい、で、先ほどブックマークした木なぎに飛んでいきます。槍の柱に向かっていきます。
You may notice that we passed right in front of a double battle.
あ、ごめんなさい。槍の柱は大
All of our Pokemon except Swampert are fainted, so we can't do that double battle.
で、まあ、ここは別に難しくないか。ここは別に難しくないです。
Here's Wallace again. So we're at Sky Pillar. We got our Awakened Rayquaza to go tell Groudon and Kyogre to shut up.
空の柱が揺れてるってことでちょっと上行ってくんないと俺帰るからって言ってミクリは帰ります。なぜか。でここは特に今何もないですね。なのでそのままただ行きます。でこのなぜかこのひびが入っているところで自転車が止まったりすると、落ちるのでこれわざと落ちています。これドゥンしてます実は。ここも一緒にチャリ降りてるのはロードを速くするためです。レックザを起こしに行き
And
ま
on
す。
our first visit to Sky Pillar, none of the tiles on the floor are cracked or anything, so we don't have to worry about that.
これでレックザが
But
来るので
when we're back here, next time, that will be something we have to contend with.
ちょっと休憩時間に奏者に言ってた基本的に休憩時間になります。ちょっと俺も一瞬水飲みます。
Flying back to Zootopolis. Also, it was Moss Tube we flew to earlier, not Lily Cove, excuse me.
はい、こうやって海洋ガと、グラドンが戦ってくるところに、レック
Here's
ザ
the cutscene. Rayquaza comes down to the heavens to tell his two siblings to shut up and stop fighting.
はい、そうです。まあ RTA ってよくあることなんですが、基本的にムービーは休憩時間になります。
This is a pretty cool cutscene, especially for the Game Boy Advance.
そのムービースキップもできるようになってから、そういう休憩時間がなくなっちゃったのかな。で、海洋が水に沈んでって、これグラドンは
Love it. Rayquaza just yells at them, and they're like, "All right, fine," and they just
で
retreat.
空飛んでいきます。で、これぶっちゃけレックーザはこれ行ってそのまま特に何もせずにストーリー自体を進みます。が、レックーザを捕まえに行きます。レックーザ捕まえなくて
So at this point, Rayquaza is now catchable, even before the 8th gym. So, as you can maybe guess, that's what we're going to go do, is catch Rayquaza, and pretty much sweep the rest of the game with him.
もう一回空の柱に行ってレックーザに会いに行きますが、ここが奏者の腕の見せ所ですかね。空の柱が先ほどと違ってボロボロになってて邪魔者ばっか。
So Swampert has played a very, very important role, but it's time, as our main is quickly coming to a close.
ちなみにここの操作はめちゃくちゃ難しいです。
And now on our second visit to Sky Pillar, we have to deal with the cracked tiles. You have to ride the Mach Bike at full speed over them. This can be really hard to do. Ringo has had a lot of practice, and it is absolutely no problem for him. But remember, way back in the beginning of the run, when we got the Mach Bike, I said that you have a 2-turn window on a given tile, or sorry, a 2-frame window to turn on a given tile, I believe, which is just so ridiculously precise. But Ringo's got it. save and reset here to set up a catch manip on Rayquaza. There are a few target Rayquazas that we're looking for. I mean, we want high attack, high special attack, and high speed, just like we did with the Mudkip.
ここももう僕はあんまし喋らないようにはします。今リンゴさん BGM に合わせてカーソルを動かしてます。
Waiting there for a very specific time to throw the ball. So, yeah, not only do we have to manip a perfect Rayquaza, not a perfect Rayquaza, but manip a good enough Rayquaza, we also manip it to stay in one normal Pokeball from full health, which is hilarious to me.
おっと228はあんまし
That is
強くない
all RNG manip. That was simply pressing A at the perfect timing.
そうですね
Ringo most likely is using
この
probably like an app called Flow Timer or something similar, where it plays a series of beeps and he'll press A on like the fourth beep. So 1, 2, 3, go, sort of like that. So it helps establish a rhythm and helps him press A at exactly the right time. Perfectly legal in speedrunning, because it doesn't press A for Ringo. It just helps him know when to press A and helps him sort of get the rhythm down. Anyway, now we've caught Rayquaza, and we can go kick the crap out of poor Juan here.
クリアはちゃんとできる答えです。ここから1個下に行くとうっかりになって多分クリアできないです。負けますどっかで。まあただレックゼのレベルがあまりにも高いので基本的には負けないです。
You may notice, Rayquaza's level 70, and Juan's team is in the low 40s. So, yeah, this is
動き決まってるので、まあ覚えておけば問題はないはずなんですが。
not a problem. It's really not a problem.
自分とかミスって落ちたりすることもあります。よくわかんないですね。でこの辺の戦闘は神速と激輪で決着していきます。で激輪って技が2ターンか3ターンランダムで続いて、それから継続が途切れてしまうと混乱になってしまいます。がキーの実を拾って持たせたことによってここでキーの実が発動して混乱せずに問題なく攻撃ができます。大概勢はこれを取らないのでこの辺が運ゲーになっています。このノンキは確かあれ冷静よりは強いんだよね。
Yeah. You can see that was pretty easy. It was just extreme speed, fly, extreme speed, and then outrage, outrage. It's kind of a joke. I mean, level 70 versus, level 42. It was always going to be this way.
この量のトレーナー1、2、3、4人、4、5人ぐらい戦わなきゃいけないです。で、レックーザすげえ空を飛ぶ覚えてるの。そのままレックーザの空を飛ぶ。
So now we're going to head over to Victory Road, fly back to Moss Deep, and then surf back down to the Seafloor Cavern.
で、この辺でこれスプレーが切れるのでもう一回キーの実を持たせて、で、ツバメ返しですね。タイプ1技です。
So now, during this next repel menu, we are going to teach Aerial Ace over Extreme Speed, and Waterfall over Rest. Strange to me that this Rayquaza comes with Rest, but I suppose it was kind of asleep, wasn't it? You know what? No, that makes sense. It was asleep. I'll take it. That's passable. It was in fact resting. And then surfing right along this edge allows us to perfectly bypass all of these swimmers. Yes, the person berry is to deal with outrage confusion. Good catch.
これ滝登り使います。ここをバッチ8個取らないと進めないってことですね、この滝登りが。チャンピオンロード入ります。
So that happened as
チャン
well.
ピオンロードも操作難しいです。で、ここでみつるくんが
Here's Victory Road. Wally's gonna run up to us and say, hey, battle me again. So we'll do that. And poor Wally has no idea that we have probably the most powerful Pokemon in all of Hoenn.
空を飛ぶを打っているんですが、ツバメ返しでも落ちないことはないです。こののんきの個体だと 62.5% の確率でツバメ返しで落とせます。
This poor kid who sort of looks up to us and tries to see us as his rival is just gonna get completely wiped by our legendary.
攻撃力が高い個体をレクザを引いてると、ここはツバメ返しでワンパンが確定になるので、今そっちの方が早いよねっていう話です。なのでレクザの個体は
It's just Aerial Ace, Waterfall, Waterfall, Outrage, Outrage. Then there are a couple trainers on our way through Victory Road. We'll outrage them as well.
基本的に最後の方ですね、このゲーム倒せる敵は基本的に激鱗で倒していきます。なんでかっていうと技の選択肢は出てこないので、そっちの方が早いからですね。
That's true. Wally is using a Delcatty. Wally wants to be like one of the best trainers and then decides to use a Delcatty. Sorry, apologies to Delcatty fans, but come on.
滝登りだと今一つで通らないし、ツバメ返しだと効果抜群だっていうテキストが出てしまって、その分遅くなっちゃうので激鱗打ちます。
Yeah, Delcatty is just a weak Pokemon, unfortunately. Poor stats, poor move pool.
なので普通にドラゴンタイプは通ります。すみません、僕はあんまし6世代以降のポケモンちゃんとやってないので、そこまで知ってるわけではないです。ここでスプレー起点でゴールスプ使ってプラスパーにカーソル合わせます。 この辺も画面見えないですが、まあもちろん見えない状態で進めていきます。はい。でここで基本的には、
Yeah, to answer Chad, that is why we're hating on it. Because it's just funny that Wally, who tries to present himself as a rival, is using a pretty weak Pokemon. But I don't know, we're kind of making the entire game unfair by using our Rayquaza, so it's fine.
でこいつがサンドパンなんですが、サンドパンはこの個体だと滝登りを打たざるを得ない。攻撃力が上昇の個体だとツバメ返しを打つんですが、今回は滝登りですね。
This is cool trainer Julie. She has a Sandslash and a Ninetales. Ninetales being one of my favorite Pokemon. But it's not going to get a chance to do anything here.
この電光石火はいらないです。で、次のなんだっけ、トロピウスも技の選択肢が出ずに勝手に激鱗を選んでくれるので、まあその分タイム加速になるねっていう話ですね。
What a Tropius. Oh, that's right. Tropius is listed in the notes. It's just, you only have to click Outrage once because it just goes forever. Not forever, but you get the idea. Once again, doesn't matter that there's low visibility. Ringo knows exactly what they're doing. Probably has done this so many times. There's one more trainer to fight before we get to the Elite Four. And it is cool trainer Edgar. And all we're going to do here is Outrage. There's a chance that this Pelipper that Edgar has that'll come out after the Cacturn. There's a chance that this Pelipper can use Protect, which is ultimately not a big deal. It just loses a little bit of time because it won't die to Outrage then. You have to click Outrage again. But that's like the most interesting thing that happens here. It looks like it did Protect. That's funny. But that's it. Barring any optionals, that should be the last trainer we have to fight before the Elite Four. Yeah, we're already out. So here we go. We're going to go to the PC and deposit basically everybody except Rayquaza. Sadly, even Swampert. Sorry, Swampert. You carried us so far, and now you're not going to get to be in the Hall of Fame. Really unfortunate. It is time for the Elite Four. Starting off with Sydney, of course. So we have Mightyena. We're going to Waterfall. There is a range on this upcoming Absol, so you could use Outrage here if you have the Parasol Berry equipped. But didn't do that. Going to Waterfall the Absol. Another one of my favorite Pokemon, actually. Absol. Hit the range, one shot. Aerial Ace onto the Shift Tree. And then after this, we'll click Outrage, and that'll finish up the battle. So, Sydney, piece of cake. Coming up next is Phoebe, the Ghost-type Elite Four member. And this is where we're going to start using those X attacks that we... Remember when we bought 11 of those? like 40 minutes ago or something like that? Looks like a safety save here. Yeah, why not? You are in a marathon. Might as well, right? So, on this first Dusclops, Ringo will use an X attack. And then fly. That looks like Aerial Ace, actually. Oh, maybe it was fly. Either way. Doesn't really matter. The point is, we're one-hit KOing these Pokemon. Aerial Ace onto the upcoming Banette, and then Outrage after that to wrap up this battle as well. Also, it doesn't matter for the speedrun because we get a level 70 Rayquaza, but the level differences, the level scaling between the 8th Gym Leader and the Elite Four in this game are really annoying. Like, Juan has like level 42 Pokemon or whatever, and then you get to Sydney and he has like, his highest is level 49, and then the champion's highest is, I think, 58? Which is, it's so annoying. Like, what the heck? Like I said, it doesn't matter for this, because we just get a big overpowered Rayquaza, but... So here's Glacia, the Ice-type Elite Four member. Gonna X attack here on Walrein. Actually, what you do here depends kind of on your nature. If you have a brave or adamant nature, you X attack. If you have a quiet nature, then you also X attack once. Otherwise, you'll X attack twice and then mash aerial ace. But regardless, with the proper amount of X attacks, this battle isn't too big of a deal.
プラスパーで攻撃力2段階上がってるので、ツバメ返しで全員蹴散らします。場合によっては、プラスパワー1個だけ使って、トドデルガに空を飛ばせたり、倒せることによってはツバメ返しで倒せます。I
think part of this is preserving PP for outrage. I think also part of it is just not wanting to deal with the confusion that comes from the end of outrage.
そうですね、実質脳天気ですね。エアロックは脳天気とほぼ一緒です。はい、鬼氷も特に村っ気とかないので、そういうことは起こりません。そうですね、そういえば特性の話してなかったですね、全然。ポケモンの特性っていう性能はこの3世代、ルビーサファイアから、ルビーサファイアエメラルドの世代から、出られるようになりました。要は、戦闘とかターン関係なく発生する能力ですね。壁ドンして、ルンして、
That's Glacia done, and we are into the final Elite Four member, the Dragon-type Trainer
そう
Drake.
ですね、ここもワンチャン負けちゃうのでさすがにセーブです。
Saving here, it seems. So this is another one that what you do depends on the Rayquaza's nature. Brave, Adamant, or Relaxed will do 1 X attack. Relaxed or Quiet. Relax 1 or Relax 2. Okay, so it depends on the frame you hit when you do the Rayquaza move. So it depends what Rayquaza you have. But the other possible Relaxed Rayquaza or the Quiet nature Rayquaza will do 2 X attacks.
ここで守るを1回使われて決められて
Also an X speed if you happen to get Rock Tombed, because that will lower speed.
ちょっと足りなくなっちゃいます。ね、今3だもんね、これでね。この激鱗がターンは続いてほしいに3ターンによってほしい。
It should be noted that, of course, time is coming up pretty soon here, because after this we have the champion and then we are done.
はい、大丈夫ですね。この現時に対して5体のポケモンに激鱗をぶち当てなきゃいけないんですが、2ターンから3ターンなので、どっかで1回は3ターン継続を引かないとダメなんですね。じゃないと最後にまた混乱しちゃうので、5万で攻撃力下がるが関係ないです。これ混乱するんですが、金額に持たせているので問題ありません。ちなみに、今ののんきの個体があるんですけど、今引いているのんきの個体。
Outrage, super effective on the Salamence.
のんきの個体だと、このレックザに、素早さ負けてるんで、上から攻撃を食らいます、普通に。
And will be on the Kingdra as well. I mean, you know, all the Dragon-type Pokemon that Drake is using. Very susceptible to Outrage.
吹雪は耐えねえか、回復か。
And this is it. It's time for the champion. So, the notes here say in all caps, heal to full. So we need to be at full HP. And I imagine that Ringo will safety save as well. Yep, there's the heal. Out comes a safety save, and it's time for, hopefully, the final battle of the run. So once again, what happens here depends on the nature of the Rayquaza. Relaxed or Quiet will, both options will use X attack, but the specific attacks that are used depend. Because certain Rayquazas will have to use Fly to take out this Whalmer. That did a lot of damage to Rayquaza. And also, certain Rayquaza will have to use Outrage instead of Aerial Ace to end the battle. Oh, there's also an X attack or X special, depending on if you will be using Aerial Ace or Outrage at the end. So, gonna Aerial Ace the Tentacruel, either way. Should be one more Aerial Ace, and then the notes say heal to full. Melodic is a range. Unless you use fly. You can use fly over aerial ace to guarantee the KO at the cost of an extra turn. So here's the Gyarados. Intimidate comes out. I'm going to heal to full. Now, depending on the kind of Rayquaza we have, either an X special or an X attack. Or not. That was just a straight up attack. Interesting. Seems like Ringo just went for Outrage. No, I don't think so. Must have been Aerial Ace or something. Aerial Ace onto the Ludicolo. Makes sense, super effective. And there we go. Wishcast has been taken out, and the champion is defeated. Ringo and the Rayquaza are now the champion of the Hoenn region. Poor Swampert sitting there in the PC. And time will be on the first frame of credits. The thing that did so much damage to Rayquaza earlier with the Wailord was Blizzard. Gyarados also has the Hyper Beam, and that's why we healed the full earlier because of Hyper Beam. But I don't think it ever came out. And this is a big reason we deposited everything, because otherwise we'd have to watch the Hall of Fame cutscene for every Pokemon, instead of just the one Rayquaza. And that should be time. So about 2 hours and 31 minutes, that's a pretty fast Pokemon Emerald run. That's pretty good. GG to Ringo. I mean, world record is a 2:23, but like even then. When you consider marathon safety strats, you consider a couple fights that didn't go quite as planned. You just got some bad luck a couple times. Not bad at all. Absolutely smashing the estimate as well. So big GG's to Ringo. Go follow the runner at Ringo777 on Twitch, according to the layout. Thank you to SpeedGaming for having me on for commentary. It was a little awkward, but I'm glad that someone could be here to commentate this, rather than just having nobody, you know? Even if I am not the most familiar with the run, I at least, you know, I can look at the notes, I can work my way around it. It was a bit challenging. Not being able to read the text was the rough part. But you can also find me at Helix13_ on just about every platform. I am a Super Monkey Ball speedrunner and lots of marble rollers like that, so if you're interested in that, check out my channel. Yeah, GG's to Ringo. Hope you all keep enjoying RTA in Japan. I'm really glad to see that there's an English restream for this marathon. Hoping more people can be involved next time. Japanese timing. Oh, do they time until end of credits? Yeah, timing ends when the words "the end" appear at the end of the credits. Okay. I just looked at the speedrun.com rules. So, that actually makes the 2:23 here from Ringo even more impressive.
攻め方にもよりますが、エメラルドみたいなギリギリの戦闘はあんまりないそうなので、僕は走ってないので分かりませんが、まあぜひ走ってみたり動画を見てみるのもいいと思います。
Ringo's 2:23 with timing ending at the end of the credits. That is kind of absurd.
はいストップです。
The end. There's
33分49秒
officially time according to the Japanese timing myth. Still destroying the estimate. 2:33:49. GG's to Ringo. Once again.
見ます？
まあ一応慣例なので
まあ
Pokemon Emerald is a fun game. Probably, definitely my favorite Pokemon game. I don't know why I said probably. It is.
まあのんきですよ、性格は。
そうですね。HP 見てれば分かります。
What are we doing? What's happening? Oh, we're just looking at the Rayquaza.
はい。では
I can't read any of this. I don't know what any of this means. Oh no.
はい、RTA In Japan
That's why I'm here, not there.
皆さんご視聴お願いします。というわけでお疲れ様でした。エメラルド終わりたいと思います。
But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Please continue to enjoy the English restream. Continue to support RTA in Japan. I'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.